Polio is one of the strangest viruses in the history of mankind.
In fact, 72% of the people infected with polio don't even show symptoms of the disease at all. 27% of people with polio have cases of fever, vomiting, nausea, fatigue, sore throat, headache, and muscle stiffness.
But an unlucky 0.5% of people with polio end up being paralyzed, a complete opposite of the 72% of the people with polio.
This website will help you understand more about polio.
Let's talk a bit about the history of the disease. Polio wasn't a big problem before the 20th century. Only infants got the disease.
People found out the cause of the disease came from human waste, so they improved their sewage disposal and sanitation.
But in the year
1900.
1900 to 1910, frequent cases of polio spreading around small villages in Europe and America appeared.
16 years after the first cases of polio spreading, New York faced the first large-scale polio epidemic.
Two scientists called Louis and Philip Saw developed the iron lung in the year 1927 to help people with paralytic polio breathe.
Right. In 1952, Dr. Jonas Salk developed the first effective polio vaccine. The vaccine was so effective that polio cases fell from 35,000 to 5,300 in America.
And in 2015, polio only exists in two countries, Pakistan and Afghanistan.
So, what is the basic structure of polio like? The virus looks like a furry ball with many different colors.
The virus enters your body, then multiplies itself, then it makes tons of copies of itself.
Polio spreads by coming in contact with a person infected with polio's feces, sneeze, or cough.
It is usually spread through a community when someone accidentally comes in contact with an infected person's feces through the mouth.
For example, when somebody with infected feces on their hand touches some food or a water tap.
There are two types of polio. The majority of people with polio suffer from paralytic polio and non-paralytic polio. Non-paralytic polio gives you cases of fever, vomiting, nausea, fatigue, sore throat, headaches, and muscle stiffness.
The other type of polio is paralytic polio. There are three types of paralytic polio. The first one is spinal polio, which attacks the spine and paralyzes the arms and legs. The other type of polio is bulbar polio, which attacks parts of the brain which are responsible for vision, swallowing, and taste.
The last type of polio is spinal polio, which is basically spinal and bulbar polio.
There is no cure for polio, but there are two vaccines to help prevent it.
Yep. There is the inactivated polio vaccine. It was first developed by Dr. Jonas Salk. It uses all three types of polio virus, that are killed and is then injected to the central nervous system.
The other vaccine is the oral polio vaccine. It contains a weakened version of the three types of polio. It enters through the mouth and into the immune system, which produces antibodies to fight the disease. After the immune system continues to produce antibodies, so polio cannot infect the central nervous system.
Some people may think polio is quite hard to eradicate, but actually, it's the opposite. According to the World Health Organization, the virus is already 99% eradicated. There are several reasons for this. First of all, unlike most diseases, polio can be eradicated completely. Also, the two vaccines for preventing polio is very cheap and effective. One dose of oral polio vaccine can cost less as 14 US cents.
Polio can also be prevented with proper sewage disposal and sanitation. Scientists are not looking for any new tools or cures to help eradicate polio. This is because the virus is almost non-existent. The only people who need the vaccine are in war zones and can be helped immediately after the country achieves peace.
We both think
We both don't think.
we both don't think the cure for polio won't be found. Because it's already 99% eradicated. The virus can be eradicated simply with the help of the cheap and effective inactivated polio vaccine and oral polio vaccine.
Thank you for watching this video. I hope you learned something about polio.